Hi, and welcome to the Daily's Double Shot. I'm Andrew Mitrak.
And I'm Brianna Lai.
Coming up, our reporter Tarek Walmsley will take an inside look at Rainy Dog Radio, UW's student-run online radio station.
Arnold Chan and Morgan Gard will give their take on the fantasy adventure film Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
And Catcho will visit Chocolati in her segment Chow Time.
Kimberly Spalding will take to the streets, engaging student opinion on the 2010 Winter Olympic Games.
Laura O'Neill Dunn will host a panel of savvy students on a special Valentine's Day edition of The Good, the Bad, and the Rad.
And finally, we'll take a look at the Haiti Relief Benefit Show, where local musicians perform to raise funds for Doctors Without Borders.
All coming up on the Daily's Double Shot.
Ooh, what is that? Chinese.
Yeah.
I'll see you there. Okay.
Rainy Dog is an online radio station run by UW students. Tarek Walmsley visited the station, and this is what he saw.
Rainy Dog Radio is the university's own student-run radio station. I paid a visit to their studio in the Hub basement to take a look behind the scenes.
Rainy Dog was created by these associate students of the University of Washington to fill a niche left when KEXP moved off campus and became autonomous.
We are in the back corner of the Hub sub-basement, probably the most dungeon-esque place on campus.
Rainy Dog was created with an eye towards providing educational opportunities for students looking to get experience in radio and broadcast. So we're here in the Rainy Dog offices where the management works throughout the week. Behind me you see a big wall of CDs. We have workstation computers where we're all working every day. So here we are in the DJ studio where we have all of our various equipment for putting music out over the air and to the student body. Over here we have one tape deck and two CD decks. A turntable, some of our DJs play vinyl. We have one show that's almost entirely 7-inch records. The mixing board obviously is where all the inputs are running into and where they are congregated and then sent out over the airwaves.
Alright everybody, listen up. DJ Rob here to start off the Double Power Hour. I got into DJing because I wanted an outlet to express metal. You know, I'm really into metal and I think it'd be good to get metal out there to the UW community.
Into Ash and play the Gorgeous Pencil Sword. We'll have to raise metal to play the one that's on his sword.
There were no call-in shows when I joined. There is actually one now. It's called Genital Discourse, and it's kind of like Loveline.
They'll take callers or emails in about sexual health related questions, and then they will answer them live on the air. They have a guy who's a comedian and makes sex related jokes, and a girl who actually answers the sex related health questions. And yes, I have submitted questions to them before.
There's some DJs in the studio doing a show called Hot Buttered Soul.
And we are a soul music and food criticism show.
Food and soul, you know, soul is kind of like smooth, it's like sensual, like food.
So we're spreading the word on good soul music and good places to eat around Seattle. We're still figuring out the dynamic.
Yeah. I'm the funny one.
Yeah, I'm the straight man. Yeah.
He's also mean to listeners. Sometimes.
I'm not mean to listeners. That's an exaggeration. We get to play the music we like and talk about the food we like, so it's a win-win. We've been kind of learning how to talk about food more intelligently as we've been going on, and we're aspiring to be proper food critics.
A lot of the programming that we have here on Rainy Dog Radio is maybe stuff that you wouldn't find even on what many people consider to be sort of an alternative station like KEXP. We've been pursuing just focusing on being the best and strongest internet station that we can be, especially since it seems like technology is sort of trending in that direction.
The future is online because as the internet becomes increasingly accessible with things like iPhones, Blackberries, the new iTouch or whatever, people will be listening to more internet radio that is less dominated by commercials and stupid talking.
As a result of the planned hub remodel, Rainy Dog will soon make the move to Condon Hall.
We're going to be moving next year because of this hub overhaul.
Hopefully the move doesn't affect our productivity at all. I mean, in the past 3 years or so, the station has been sort of on a rise. Our listenership has gone up dramatically, and I feel like we've done a pretty good job of increasing our presence on campus. We're currently discussing ways to make the transition run really smoothly so that next year's management can sort of just pick up the ball and run with it.
You can listen to the station at rainydog.org. Up next, Arnold Chan and Morgan Gard review Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which hits theaters this weekend.
Welcome to Cinema Chat. I'm Arnold Chan.
And I'm Morgan Gard, and this week we'll be reviewing the new film Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief. This is the adaptation of the first in a series of children's novels called Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and it centers around the origin story of our hero, Percy Jackson, where he's a demigod, the son of Poseidon, and it centers around him trying to find out who stole the lightning bolt, Zeus's legendary weapon, off Mount Olympus.
Story, for the most part, kept me hooked in. Like, I never lost track of what was going on for the most part, and I was kind of sucked into that story.
It was well-paced, it moves along at a good clip, even if this plot structure is pretty much, well, we need to do this thing, well, we need to find the 3 magical what's-its that get us to where's it, where we can finally do the magical thing. And it's pretty much just checkpoint, 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 ending.
But it was organized. It did follow a very obvious pattern. Like, it was easy to follow.
Well, that leads into another aspect, predictability. I mean, it's bad enough that it's based on poems and stories that are thousands and thousands of years old. It's just predictable from beginning to end. And even in scenes where I think some things are supposed to be surprises, anybody with a precursory knowledge of Greek mythology will find most of it spoiled. I mean, they walk into a greenhouse full of statues and instantly my mind clicked Medusa, and it takes the characters who somehow, even though they have this great link to Greek culture and mythology, have no idea that a bunch of statues of Girl Scouts is anything but Medusa.
But I kind of like that because I myself am fairly familiar with Greek mythology, and it was really interesting just how they wrote in each mythos like trying to portray it in more modern times. I just really liked how you could kind of see where it was going, but still curious as to how they were going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is a movie about basically a war of the gods in Greek mythology. It stands to live or die on its special effects, and those, for the most part, are okay.
A lot of things they do, you would never see in real life, so it's hard to imagine this is what it would look like.
Christopher Columbus really tried to make the centaur effect his own with the first Harry Potter film, but since then, somebody came along and did it much better, and thankfully he learned his lesson. The centaurs in this film are very well done, practically seamless, and also the main one is played by Pierce Brosnan, which is a huge plus in my book.
It's hard to see him now as just a person. I really think he's a centaur.
Here's something I want to stress about my opinion on this film. It's not a bad movie. I didn't dislike it. I was a little underwhelmed. I would have wished that it was something more, but it's not. And what is there is good. It's watchable. I'd see it in theaters, I think. It's worth it. It is just painfully mediocre.
See, now I think you're being a little too harsh. I would have to say I like the movie. I would see it in theaters with just a couple friends. I might even drag some friends along to see it with me. I give props to Chris Columbus.
Right. Plus, babysitters, parents, they take their 10-year-olds to this. You got a kid for the next month who won't say a word because he's too busy being at the library reading up on Greek mythology.
This will definitely pique their interest.
Okay, so I guess we're in agreement then. Go see it in theaters, right?
Definitely.
All right, great. That's it for this week's Cinema Chat. I'm Morgan Gard.
And I'm Arnold Chan. We'll see you next time.
Next up is Catcho with Chow Time.
Hi there, I'm Caitlin Chow and I'm at Chocolati in Wallingford. With Valentine's Day right around the corner, I thought that I'd show you a cute and simple date option. Since it opened 10 years ago, Chocolati has expanded to 4 cafes and an outlet store all around Seattle. The Wallingford Cafe is large with ample seating on the 2nd floor. With its decadent menu and handmade chocolates, this cafe gets rave reviews from both its employees and customers.
It's a nice, cozy atmosphere, and chocolate's always one of those Valentine's Day things. I mean, people can go anywhere and get a latte or a cup of coffee, but here our chocolates are really what is the most special thing about our shop. People just want to come in and cuddle up with a book and, something warm to drink.
I think it's a good ambiance, good lighting, and music's not too loud, which is nice.
I love this place for studying. It's a great place to go because there's so many places to sit down.
I think it's kind of cozy, and it's usually, there's a lot of people here. It's pretty full and popular, I would say.
I like the atmosphere. It's very relaxing. There's a lot of art on the walls, which makes it kind of fun.
With a large selection of drinks and a huge case of chocolate truffles to choose from, I had trouble ordering just one item from Chocolati. I ended up ordering the 8-ounce cayenne hot chocolate and the cinnamon almond Aztec and Kahlua truffles for just under $5. That's actually pretty spicy, and with the chocolate, that's a really great combination. And so now for Valentine's Day, I actually would recommend Chocolati because it's low-key, quiet, relaxing, and it could be pretty romantic. But if you're single, then it's also a great place to study or just hang out. Until next Chow time, I'm Caitlin Chow.
That looks like some pretty sweet stuff. Now we're going to see what students are thinking about the Winter Olympics.
As we all know, tonight is the beginning of the opening ceremony of the Vancouver Winter Olympics. We're going to go around campus today and find out the opinions of some of the students about these upcoming Winter Games. What's your feelings about the Winter Games?
Well, they're pretty good. It's always exciting to have Olympics. You get athletes coming from all around the world.
I've always been a fan of the Olympics. I love the Olympics.
It's always pleasurable to watch them though, but I really don't go out of my way to check them out.
I guess it's kind of cool it's so close to us.
I'm going to women's ski cross, which is a brand new event. It's a Winter X Games event that they've tweaked a little bit for the Olympics.
Not as big as the Summer Olympics, but still pretty awesome.
There's no comparing to the Summer Olympics. The Winter Olympics are so much better. Everybody loves snowboarding and skiing, and freaking snow. Snow's way better than hot, like spring and summer. Can't go snowboarding in the summer.
I enjoy them more because I like cold weather.
I'm a traditionalist. I like Summer Olympics, but Winter Olympics is fun too. They're both fun.
I think people like the Summer Olympics more. Plus, I think whatever Canada is, it won't be as good as the Chinese opening ceremony. And no one will care as much. So I think I haven't noticed much hype about the Winter Olympics.
Do you follow any sport in particular or athlete?
I've been following snowboarding for a while. Shaun White's just beastly. The guy is ridiculous.
In terms of athletes, we got to support our Apollo Ono.
The downhill skiing, the speed is incredible.
I like the ice skating.
Figure skating and ice dancing, and that's about it.
I really like the bobsledding and the luge. I think that's pretty cool.
Now, if you had to compete in a sport, what would you choose?
Half pipe, snowboarding, definitely.
I think I'd do curling. I'm a pretty good shuffleboard player. And yeah, I think I could hack it at curling. I think I'd be pretty good.
The ski jump, you go down the hill and then you just like jump off 1,000,000 feet into the air. So I'd do that, probably kill myself, but I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Skeleton. Do you know what that is?
Yeah,
the head first luge? Yeah, that's what I'd do.
Any reason why?
Because it's insane, I don't know.
I'm a fan of the northern countries. I want to see Russia do well, Sweden, Finland. They'll probably do good. Czech Republic with the hockey, they rock.
I have relatives in Sweden, so we sort of root for them in our hearts. Although they try. They take home a few medals sometimes.
It's a good time to show my patriotism, and I want to do that there. I'll bring American flag, and I'll bring a flag from my girlfriend's home country, Slovenia, and they're representing too.
Just kind of blindly rooting for America. I like that.
So it sounds like there's quite a few different opinions about these upcoming Winter Olympic Games, but I know I'm excited. Reporting for the Daily's Double Shot, this is Kimberly Spalding.
So Brianna, what event are you looking forward to?
I'm definitely going to watch the women's snowboarding team. What about you?
I like curling. I don't really understand it, but I like watching anyway.
Okay, cool. Here's Laura O'Neill Dunn with The Good, the Bad, and the Rad.
Hey everyone, and welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Rad, the show that gives students the chance to put life into the most basic of categories: good, bad, and sometimes totally rad. I'm your host, Laura O'Neill Dunn, and today's show is all about finding the good, the bad, and the rad on Valentine's Day. Here's how it works. I'll introduce the topics, and then I'll turn the discussion over to our panelists. A computer science major and the man behind the Daily's newest sex column, Apples and Bananas, we have Noe Kalfa.
Hi.
A chemical engineering major and the UW debate team's case brief manager, Emily Santee.
Hi.
Pursuing a degree in journalism while keeping up with her long-running daily column Pillow Talk, Parisa Sadzadeh. When you're in a relationship on February 14th, the pressure can be on to make the day special. And the fact of the matter is that people spend a lot on this holiday, especially men. We've got the statistic from the National Retail Federation saying that on average, men spend about twice as much money as women on the holiday of Valentine's Day. And so are you guys seeing this in your own lives, and do you think it's good, bad, or rad?
As a woman, I think it's rad. If I'm receiving twice as much money and gifts and chocolate, I'll eat them.
I think it's good. I mean, I don't think it's like crazy good, but I think it's good.
But I also think that women are more inclined to give more small presents throughout the year. So, women are more like attuned to, I'm going to buy you a pint of ice cream. Whereas a man is more likely to be like, oh, it's Valentine's Day.
If a guy is going to make a gesture, then I guess Valentine's Day is just like some time where he can kind of build it up. So you will spend more money on that day. Maybe you were going to do it maybe you had thought about doing something in between, but you're like, well, I'll wait till a big day, and that's Valentine's Day.
So men like to make it count, women like to space it out. Yeah. All right. These are some gifts that I got for you guys, so you can go ahead and open these up.
Thank you.
Are you a fan of these?
The purple and white ones, yes.
You are a fan?
Yeah, the rest are bad.
Okay, what about you, Parisa?
I love the purple and white ones too. That's so weird.
They're the best ones.
They make me think of elementary school though, because I
Yeah.
feel like this was what we used to give each other. This was a sign of affection back then.
I think you guys might be in for a little bit of a 2010 surprise right now, since you like the purple and white ones so much. Taste it.
They are different.
I'm just seeing if you guys have noticed anything.
They have a different consistency.
Yeah,
they're like squishy or something instead of chalky.
They've revised the recipe, the texture, the flavors, and the messages. Some of them say tweet me. I don't know if you can
say
tweet me.
Mine says dream big. But yeah, they've revised them. So revisions on an old classic, good, bad, or rad.
I don't know. They're kind of the same.
You think they taste the same?
I mean, okay. To be honest, I'd rather have chocolate, but reading them's fun, and so in that respect, they're kind of similar. And maybe adding tweet me is nice if you're into that.
I think they're bad too. They were so simple and cute before. I don't want to tweet somebody. I wouldn't be like, how I used to give them as messages.
I like to try and see how many you could string together and have it still make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever had the sweetheart conversations where every sentence you have to use one of the sweetheart words?
That's a good one.
They're kind of fun.
That sounds fun.
You want to try it?
Okay, go. I think these taste totally gross. I'm surprised that you guys aren't
If I had a sign that said free hugs, I would ask you to hug me.
Oh, well, if I saw that, I might ask you to meet me later.
Soulmate.
Yeah, I have soulmate too.
Hey, sweet pea. I'm trying not to be a misogynist.
Okay, so moving on from candy to a slightly more adult topic. Craigslist missed connections. It's not as adult as casual encounters, but do you guys ever check those out, the missed connections on Craigslist?
I thought you meant the casual encounters.
Oh, no. I mean, whatever floats your boat.
I just saw this yesterday, and I think it is totally rad. I think it kicks ass. Because I don't know, there's just something so cute about it. I know that sounds really weird, but I think there's something just really cute. It's almost movie-like the way that this is set up, and it's I couldn't believe that people were actually doing this.
I agree. I think it's rad. Not just because it's cute, because everyone has that little bit of a romantic side, and perhaps Valentine's brings it out. But also, if you've ever, taken the time to read them, they are very entertaining. You get people on here that are just really creepy, and they don't intend to be, right? They think that they're being sweet and romantic, but they're coming off I've been watching you get on the bus, every day for a week. And I don't know why you won't sit next to me. I always smile at you.
Yeah, they are some of them are creepy, but when they're cute, they're cute.
Right.
I have a couple of my papers, so you can. I want you to kind of tell me if you think they're good, bad, or rad. They're all from our area. They're all U District misconnections. So this first one is Women for Men, and it's U District Starbucks. Gray beanie, cute face. I was reading by the window in Starbucks at 41st and University at around 4:45 this afternoon. You passed by a few times, and we smiled as you passed. This is probably pointless, but if you remember me, reply. Let's grab coffee, smiley face emoticon.
Wait, was that today? That's kind of cute. I wouldn't say that's creepy.
No, I think that's good, and especially they're getting all this publicity, so maybe this will draw someone's attention to the ad.
Maybe we'll help them find true love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could find true
Does
love.
it sound like anyone you know? Green beanie, cute face?
No.
Cute face.
But-
It's so descriptive.
But would you reply to this ad if you thought it was you?
Well, I'm not a man.
Well, but
So.
would you respond if you thought this was you?
Sure.
Yeah?
It'd be fun.
Alrighty.
You really would?
What's the worst that could happen? Like, you maybe go on like a date with this person and then it doesn't work out.
So this next person probably won't be posting a misconnection anytime soon because he's happily married to Demi Moore. Ashton Kutcher gave this quote to Parade magazine, and the quote goes as follows. I hate Valentine's Day. I can't stand it. I think that every day should be a day of romance. I think you should celebrate love 364 days out of the year. Then, on Valentine's Day, you should get to tell whoever you hate that you cannot stand them. There will be one day of hating and 364 days of love.
I think this is bad. I think Valentine's Day doesn't necessarily mean that that's the only day that you love somebody. I think it's a day to like maybe do something extra, and I don't think that the other 364 days of the year you're hating everybody.
A day of hate does sound pretty bad. I feel like there'd be a lot of fistfights, a lot of riots, a lot of things the police couldn't necessarily control. But
Yeah, that would be kind of chaotic.
You're giving a bad on Ashton Kutcher-induced riots? Because I think that would be a little bit rad. I think there's something like cathartic about, because maybe if we could release rage one day of the year, then there would be less rage on the other days.
Yeah,
maybe.
People bond over it too. It's great.
Bonding over hatred, we give it a...
Rad. Rad for humanity.
There's a new show, a new talk show running on Rainy Dog Radio on Fridays from 9 to 11. It's called Genital Discourse, and it's Loveline-esque in that there's one sex expert and one comedian. And they want people to call in, they want people to ask them questions. So what do you guys think about this, like turning to other students for sex advice? Good, bad, or rad?
Well, that's rad, not only because of the sex advice, but the one thing about this show, Genital Discourse, right, is that it talks about sexual health.
I think it's a really great idea too. It's really rad. The people that they chose are very knowledgeable, and they're super aware that these are issues that you might not want to talk about with everyone.
And I guess the success of the show I suppose, it depends on the person who's giving advice has to really know their stuff and has to make sure they're not like giving different advice for the same problem. And the comedian has to be such that they have like good chemistry with the person, but they're not sort of ruining the actual advice part. You can be funny and even make fun of people while still keeping like people make people want to call it.
Exactly, not shutting them down,
Not
making
shut 'em
them
down.
scared to call. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Thanks so much to everybody for coming on the show today, and we hope to see you next time on The Good, the Bad, and the Rad.
Thanks, Laura. So what's next?
We're going to take a look at the Haiti Relief Benefit concert held last week.
My family's from Haiti. My mom was born and raised in Port-au-Prince. And after the earthquake, my immediate concern was immediate family that are still in Haiti. But after I was fortunate enough to hear from my immediate family everyone was okay, it became more of an issue for me about what I could do. I talked to our mom, and I've been making music for a long time and putting together shows, and she actually gave me the idea of putting together a concert to raise money, because I only have so much money, but I have the tools to raise a lot more money than that. The first thing I did was contact Numos, which is a really popular concert venue in Capitol Hill. And then I started contacting performers, and I basically just contacted all my favorite artists and people that I work closely with in Seattle, and it ended up being a really good lineup.
For Dino Jams, I play the drums. Zach? I play the xylophone / vocals. I play the trumpet.
I honestly couldn't afford to donate money, but I can donate music and time.
The whole Numos staff volunteered to work the night for free, which made the whole event a lot cheaper, especially because it was an all-ages show, which is generally more expensive to put together. The whole box office, security, everybody was working the night for free. All the performers worked for free, so that way 100% of the door could go towards efforts in Haiti. It was a beautiful crowd. There's a lot of really excited people there that night.
Music is one of the most incredible aspects of humanity in general as a whole. There's something just so incredible about the uniting aspect of music, I think. People from everywhere and people that are educated and people that have never seen a classroom can connect with music in different ways.
I mean, the week of the show, I had 3 midterms and 2 papers. I had 2 midterms on the day of the show, but once I got on stage, it was, I just felt like laying down and just relaxing. But we had such a good time, I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't do anything differently. Performing at a Haitian benefit show was a super spiritual experience for me because it was so deep for me. I definitely got emotional at times, and the whole performance was like an out-of-body experience. Everybody was so involved. The crowd was, it's like we were working together.
I'll be hosting, so I'll be up there all night, cracking little jokes, trying to get people to enjoy themselves, thanking people that have come through. I'm doing this because even if it was a different country, I believe in third world solidarity and struggle for people worldwide. A lot of times when situations like this happen, you think of your craft, your art in general as being kind of useless and not important at that moment. But here's a chance for us to take what we do for a living or trying to do for a living and help the place that we come from.
We decided to go through Doctors Without Borders, and my decision for that was simply because I talked to my family in Haiti. Doctors Without Borders has been on the ground in Haiti for 19 years. And what that means to me is that after the press is gone, after the public eye has stopped watching Haiti, they're still gonna be there because they've been there. When these groups and the volunteers and this money goes into Haiti, it's not just aid, it has to be partnership. We have to work with the Haitian people and not for them, because Haitians are the only people that are gonna really rebuild. It's a psychological thing as much as it's an infrastructural thing. We as artists have a responsibility to the art that we make, and it's very powerful. Sometimes we forget that. We don't realize how much it affects people and how much we can do with it. But a show like this just reminds me and just reinforces the fact that art is sometimes the best way of communicating. And that night communicated unity, strength, and resilience. And it gave me a lot of hope in a time that has been really hard.
Well, that's it for this episode,
Thanks for watching the Daily's Double Shot.
and we'll see you next week.